Let's talk about this charger thing. So as you probably already know, the new iPhone 12 doesn't come with a charging brick in the box. Actually, none of their iPhones come with a charging brick or earpods anymore. That's right, their entire lineup, the 12, the 12 Pro, the SE, the 11, and the 10R. Now, before we get started, I have no affiliation with Apple since I know I'll get some of those in the comments, but I'm just providing some opinions that nobody asked for. So as you probably already know, Lisa Jackson, their VP of Environment Initiatives, climbed up on the roof of Apple Park to, well, talk about their environmental initiatives. And part of this includes removing earpods and power adapters from the box, which does several things. Reduces emissions, avoids mining precious materials, and allows them to ship more iPhones by volume because the box is smaller, which saves them money. And that's probably okay. Hear me out. Okay, so to address that last part, come here. Come here. A little bit closer. I got a secret for you. Their goal is to make money. A primary goal of Apple and almost every other company is to try to make money, and it makes sense for them to try and increase their hardware margins, especially this year. They sold 185 million iPhones last year, which is actually down from the previous year. See, this is like the one part of Apple that's kind of staying stagnant. If you look at their services, that is about like 64% in gross margins, which is almost double all of their hardware. That's the reason they give you a pretty pathetic 5 gigs of iCloud storage to start you off so that they can strong arm you into upgrading. It's absurd, but it works. As far as the environment, well, skipping out of this stuff does help with emissions. They can manufacture a lot less and save on waste. And reusing is better than recycling. And just on a personal note, I'm not saying that we need to praise everything that corporations do, but companies, including Apple, should all be moving towards more sustainable means of production. I'm sure you've heard of the carbon footprint, but in case you didn't know, this was actually popularized by fossil fuel companies in order to shift the burden from the corporations onto the consumer, even though in reality, 70% of the world's greenhouse gas emissions can be traced back to 100 companies. So it's a step in the right direction. A small one, but a step nonetheless. So they are saving money and marginally helping with the environment. But the thing is, both of those things can be true. It's kind of like when you make a charitable donation. You're supporting a cause that you like, but you also get a tax break. And I'd say that both of those things are good, at least for the person that's making the contribution. Or probably an even worse example, you know those YouTubers that go around giving homeless people money, and it's kind of weird, borderline like unethical kind of exploitation, but at the same time, they are giving them money, but also they're using that to make a bunch of money for themselves, but I guess then they could use that money to give homeless people more money. I don't know, it gets weird. Now, do I think that this was an entirely pro-consumer move? Absolutely not. Could they have done this in a better way? Yeah, probably. If they were really going to go for a zero-sum sort of situation, they could have just removed it from the box and then given you the option to buy it along with like a slight discount. Funny enough, they're still selling it, and by no means should you buy the 5-watt brick when it literally costs the same amount as the 20-watt brick they're selling. Even better, just get rid of the lightning port. Make it USB-C. Your iPads use it, your MacBooks use it, everything else uses it. I'd argue that only needing one cable for every single device that you own would be better for the environment, but they'll never do it. Now, I do want to touch on the earpods thing because I feel like nobody's really talking about this as much because nobody cares as much, but I actually find this pretty interesting. In 2018, Apple sold 35 million AirPods, and year over year, the revenue from AirPods has consistently increased by over 100%. Of course, this is a push to get you to buy AirPods. If AirPods, just AirPods, was a company, they'd make more money than Snapchat, Twitter, and Spotify combined. It's ridiculous. Marquez did a video on this, I think years ago, that I can link you to. Now, obviously this doesn't cover everyone. The assumption that AirPods or other wireless earbud solutions are the best option for everyone comes from a pretty privileged position, but I think you get my point. A lot of people are buying these things. Look, I'm not saying it's an entirely pro-consumer choice. I'm just saying from a business, it kind of makes the most sense. Ever since I started working in the tech industry, and not phones, but just tech in general, I realized that not every decision is black and white. A lot of it's for money, but not every decision is completely black and white. And there's a lot of things that go into these things. And whether this is actually for some altruistic reason, or they just want to make money, or a little bit of both, you should ultimately just vote with your wallet. I upgraded to the 12 Pro from my iPhone 10, which didn't come with the fast charging Lightning to USB-C cable. It was an extra $25 at the time, and I just never bought it. I literally never fast charged my phone because I refused to play into their game. So if you are thinking of upgrading, realistically, I think there are 3 scenarios. One, you're upgrading from an iPhone, so you already have a lightning cable and a USB-A charging brick, so you can use those, although it won't be fast charging, which kind of sucks. 2, you're upgrading from an Android phone from like 2016 to 2017, which probably uses USB-C, so you can use the included lightning to USB-C cable with your charging brick, because pretty much everything that exists now uses USB-C. Except for Apple. Or 3, you're upgrading from an older Android phone, or you just don't have a phone, or you're like buying this for your kid. I don't know. In that case, yeah, I would be pretty upset. And if you do really need a new USB-C charger, just don't buy it from Apple. You can get way better, smaller, and faster chargers from companies like Anker. They have a 20-watt charger that's the same size as the 5-watt Apple charger, and it's less than 20 bucks. And no, by the way, they are not a sponsor. But if they are listening, I'd love to take your money. Who are you talking to? Shut up. So anyways, was this move by Apple genius or stupid? Yes. I don't know, just my thoughts. What do you think? All right, that's it.